Hi everyone, I'm Danny, and I'm in the Menominee Valley Animal Room. And over the past few months, I've introduced you to all of our live animal ambassadors that live here at Menominee Valley. However, there's one other animal that lives in the Menominee Valley Animal Room that I see every time I come into work, and I would like to introduce you to them today. It's this wild turkey. Now, this is obviously not a live animal. This is a taxidermied male wild turkey that was donated to us about 5 years ago from Therese and Sandy Pendleton. However, it is representative of a species of animal that we have in abundance in Milwaukee and Wisconsin. And in fact, wild turkeys can be found throughout every single state in the United States except for Alaska. The first time I learned about turkeys, it was when I was in elementary school, and I traced the outline of my hand to draw the Thanksgiving turkey on a piece of page, right? And so in honor of that today, I would like to share with you 5 fantastic, fascinating facts about the wild turkey. Fact number 1, we have fossils of wild turkeys. So turkeys are different from a lot of other birds because their bones are much more compact, and so that means that they're more likely to fossilize when they die. And wild turkeys have been around for over 5 million years, and so we actually have fossils of wild turkeys from 5 million years ago. Fact number 2, the name of the country turkey came before the name of the bird turkey. The bird turkey is named after the country turkey. But it's not because turkeys are from Turkey. Turkeys are actually native to North America. However, when European explorers first came to North America, saw this bird, it reminded them of guinea fowl species that they did see coming from Asia through the trade routes that were in the country of Turkey. And so they named this bird after that country, Turkey. Fact number 3, turkeys live in groups. I bet that if you've ever seen a wild turkey out in the wild, it was not alone. They are always seen with other groups, and those groups are usually segregated by sex. So male turkeys hang out together and female turkeys hang out together, and there's very little intermingling that goes along. Sometimes in winter, groups of female turkeys can reach over 200 turkeys. Fact number 4, turkeys are a conservation success story. So we don't hear about wild turkeys as much when we are thinking about like conservation and endangered species and species that have come back from being endangered. However, wild turkeys almost went extinct in the early 20th century due to overhunting. So there were no regulations in place, people were hunting without abandon, and wild turkey populations declined severely. But luckily, in the 1940s and 1950s, there was a very concerted reintroduction effort in which wild turkeys were reintroduced into their native habitat, as well as a lot of protective measures around the habitat of wild turkeys. And now today they are classified as least concern. Again, they're all over the place. They're doing very well. Fascinating fact number 5, wild turkeys can swim. What? I was very surprised to learn this fact. Now, they don't do it very often. It's not very common that a wild turkey has the need to swim, but if they ever did need to swim, they have the ability to do it. And what they do is they tuck their wings in, and they actually use their tails to kick across the water and swim. So, those are our 5 fascinating facts about wild turkeys. If you're out and about exploring in Milwaukee, or like I said, pretty much anywhere in the United States, you might see some wild turkeys. So think about some of those fun facts next time you see them. And let us know when you see a wild turkey. Share your pictures with us here at the Urban Ecology Center. We'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.